Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss about how to write a resume. That is in actual the okay. Okay. Now I think it is good. So, how to write a resume? Open the door to opportunity. So your resume in actual depicts what you are in actual. So we are going to study about that. What is resume? Resume is a summary of your educational qualification details. It highlights your skills, experience relevant to the field. It highlights your objectives and accomplishments. Its purpose is to get you an interview call. A resume should reflect more than just work experience. It should consider your extracurricular and leadership qualities. So you just explain yourself on a piece of paper. So if a person don't know you, he or she just read that piece of paper and can get maximum information about that. And usually you did not get a second chance for that. As you know, it's a very normal proverb in English that you never get a second chance to create a first impression. So your resume is one of your first impression with the potential employer or your supervisor or your teacher or with your company or with your job boss. So you will not get the second chance. So you should be very careful about that. So what usually an employer wants, the your boss wants, your supervisor wants, what can you do for him or the company? How can you improve the operations for the company or for the lab or the research work? And can you make money for them? Can you save their time with your skills? Can you keep the clients happy? That is your if you are in a research company or pharmaceutical company, then how you can make your clients happy. Your resume must not only show the skills you have, it must demonstrate your success, that what you in actual have. So how much time a person usually sees your resume? At the first glance, making your resume pop, what is the initial amount of time an employer takes to review an applicant's resume? Only 15 to 20-second minimum and maximum 45 seconds. They just have a look to the piece of papers and just grab some basic information from that piece of paper. So in 45 seconds you have to convince your employer. So primary purpose, a resume will get you an interview. A resume is a marketing piece that presents you in the best possible light. It is not an application, however, it is a specific piece of information that just show what you are and what capabilities you have. A well designed resume does a number of things that paints a positive and factual picture of the application or applicant, sorry, and you are the applicant in this case, sets a positive tone for the interview and guides the interviewer in what to ask, influence others who approve the hiring. So your resume will guide the employer, your supervisor, your boss, that what skills you have and which type of questions he or she has to ask from you. So we have different types of resume here: occupational resume, chronological resumes, uh, functional resume, combination resumes, curriculum vitae, that is known as CVs. We have much focus on CVs because in our research work, and if you want to get a PhD position or a master position or any position in pharmaceutical company or any position in any laboratory, then you have to give the curriculum vitae, that is known as CV, and online resume. What is off, we will have a small look to all the resumes, however we will study curriculum vitae in detail. So occupational resume, business analyst resume, occupational resumes usually have business analyst resume, insurance manager resumes, sales agriculture resume, bank manager resumes, resumes, sales retails resume, and elementary teacher resumes. In chronological resume, we usually have key components of chronological resume. We have identification, job objectives, key accomplishments, education, professional experience, affiliations and interest, and references. If you want to generate a chronological resume about yourselves, then you have to follow these key points to add the data on a specific paper about you. So what is functional resume? In functional resume, we should include the personal details like the name, address, from where you belong, with what is your basic objective for that specific position you are going to apply, and what expertise and talents you have, uh, which experience you have in your past, and how much time you just give your expertise to other companies, and what is your educational background and your training and skills, and which achievements you just have. Then you have to add all these in your functional resume. And what is combination resume? It is the hybrid of functional and chronological resume, and you have to just make a balance in those two to generate a combinational resume. It starts with the skills, accomplishments and qualifications of the job applicant. Second page is reverse chronological ordering of your work experience, that where you just give your expertise in the past, and this format allows the reader to first match your qualification against the job opening you are going to apply. It showcases your work experience in the most marketable fashion. It highlights your both job skills and accomplishments. Combination resume layout, we need to first we have to give our name and contact information, then our all the education that we just have, and which year and which type of education we have, which major subjects we read, and then we which certifications and license we have, if you are engineer or specific type, or then or if you are going to do a specific job, like you are a pharmacist, then you have a license or not, and which type of skills you have to mention in all in your combinational resume. So usually people thinks that resume and CV both are the same. However, these both are not same. There is a huge difference, not a huge difference, but a difference between a resume and a curriculum vitae, that is known as CV. A CV is used in academic and research oriented job search. Like we are in academic and research oriented job search, then we are going to make a job CV. CV is in actual a type of resume. However, resume is used in business, non-profit, government, and other types of job searches. A CV is of flexible length. You can make a CV of 5 pages, 10 pages. Like in academic or research-oriented jobs, if you have so many research papers and books and projects, then obviously your CV will be long. However, in resume, you just have to generate 1 or 2 pages, and in 2 pages, you cannot explain all your research work. So a CV is a record of your academic accomplishments and credentials. However, a resume is not all. It should be targeted to a specific or particular job you are going to do or you are going to apply. So here we have CV, that is known as curriculum vitae, provides an overview of a person's experience and other qualifications. It is typically used to screen applicants, often followed by an interview. An online of a person's educational and professional history. A CV is the most flexible and convenient way to make applications. It is an application form that is designed to bring out the essential information and personal qualification qualities that employer requires. So what we have in actual in CV, what key points we have? First, we have to give our educational personal details. Then we have to give the educational details and qualification we have, what work experience we have, and what we accomplish in our past research work, what skills we have, and references. In references, you have to give two potential persons with whom you work in your past, and who can become a witness of your sincerity and expertise and skills. So resume writing tips: First we will study about that, and then we will have a look at how a CV we can generate. List your technical knowledge first in an organized way. List your qualification in order of relevance. Qualify your experience wherever possible, highlighting all of your strengths that will make your resume strengthen. Be concise in your resume that will reflect your last 5 years or less, that what you achieve in last 5 years, and you have to summarize all that on one page. And you have to exclude all the items that is not necessary in your resume, and have a trusted friend that can check your resume, or maybe your teacher or your good friend or your colleague can check your resume and proofread it for grammatical mistakes. Steps in resume writing: list your activities, write down the activities, pick items to highlight what you want to explain in your resume, what you think that it's more important to show the employer or your boss or your supervisor. And then you have to take some sections. As you know, resume is of 1 to 2 pages, so you have to be very careful for picking the specific items, and then format your resume, and then you have to write it. A well-designed resume does a number of things, that is, paints a positive and factual picture of the applicant, sets a positive tone for the interview, guides the interviewer in what to ask, and influences others who approve the hirings. So 10 steps you have to follow for generating a good resume. First of all, you should know about the job, what job you are going to target, in a pharmaceutical company, in a research company, in a business company, where you are going to take the job. So first you have a job in your mind or in your hand. Then you have to find the skills and knowledge that they need, you have it or not. So you have to fulfill all these steps one by one. Then you have, in the third step, you have to make a list that which 3 or 4 much stronger abilities you have to hit that job. Then at the 4 point, for each key skill you have to think that what you accomplish or achieve in your uh, previous work or in your last 5 years. Then you, at the fifth point, you have to describe each accomplishment in a simple action statement that emphasize the results. At the sixth slot, you have to make a list of primary jobs you already have done in a chronological order. Least one, the last one should be at the first position. There, no matter you will get money for that or not, but you just earn the expertise, you have to write all of those in a chronological order. Then you have to make a list of your training and education that is in actual relevant to your target job. Then you have to choose a format, that which format you are going to use, or you are going to use for generating a resume, that chronological resume, combinational resume, business resume, CV. So it depends on you, and also that depends on the need of that specific job. Then you have to arrange your action statements on your resume according to the format you choose. At the last, you have to summarize all the key points you gathered in your resume about for sorry. So at the last point you have to summarize your all the key points you just gather for your resume, and then you have to write it on a paper. Choose a great job. I think we just discuss all that, that the focus, the people who have the hardest time finding a job are often the one who insist on writing a generic resume that list everything they ever did. I think we just discuss all these points. First you have the job, then you have to summarize all the skills what you have in actual, and which type of skills that company needs. You have to gather all your skills related to that job. Then you have to list out your all the stronger skills, that which experiments you know, and if you are going to apply for a research associate, that which experiments which skills you have, like writing skills, experimental skills in silico analysis. Then what accomplishments you already have if you are going to apply for a postdoctoral position, that you already have so many research papers, which grants you have, which funding you grab. And write action statements, like think about what problem existed in your workplace, what action did you take to resolve the problem, and what were the beneficial results of your action. So you have to write all of them. Then you have to list out and pass that what you done and which expertise you have, all your experience you have to mention that will reflect that you are capable for that specific job. So then you have to write all your trainings and education. If you have so many education background and you just earn so many trainings, then you can skip your high school or college education. If you have so many educational background, and if you don't have, then you can mention it, depends on the nature of the job. Then you can choose a specific format, like which format you are going to follow: chronological format, combinational format, business format. If you choose a chronological format, place each action statement under the appropriate job title where the action happened. If you choose a functional format, please place each action statement under a skill category. So then you have to summarize all of those uh, expertise you pick or skills you pick or you choose, and you have to write it on a paper to just explain what in actual the resume is. Keep each summary statement to one line. Include key points that a new employer will need to know, and those that will make you look attractive and qualified for the new job. For example, how much experience in this line of work, training or education for the job you are going to apply, a special awards you just won in that specific domain and field. So you have to write all of them. The most important points: proofread for grammar and punctuation, check the spelling mistakes, and get feedback from your colleagues or your senior colleagues. Resume hidden messages. Resume should be neat, well organized, error free, and professional appearance. If your resume is neat, it will depict that you are a neat and clean guy. If your resume is well organized, it means that you are a well organized person. Like usually we have, like I have so many assignments from you, and there is no organization in that. Even you did not justify the paragraphs. So this means that you are not a well organized person. So you should be very clear about your statements, about your assignments, about your resume, about your CV. So error free, that will depicts that will describes you that you give a attention to the details. And if it is professional appearance your resume has, it means that you are very much careful and competent about your work. So if we are going to make a CV, so here we have, first we have to know, in the header section we should have to give the name, permanent address, email address, telephone number, and where should contact information. All these information should be at the top. Like here you have your name, permanent address, district, email address, cell number, blood group, and your recent photograph. At the second slot you have to write the objective, that what you in actual want to do. Communicate the type of position you are interested in. So your objective should be specifically for that, or you just have a journal objective that you that will describe your abilities. After that you have to write your education, that which institute you study, which city, which country, and which courses you read, and which year you pass it, and what type of education that was. Like here we have educational background, like we have to write the CGPA, what it is, and graduation date. So here we have to write all these with the specific core subjects we study, so we can explain what we have in actual. After that we have experience, that what type of experience you have, job title, date of employment, company name, city and state, where you did the job, and which expertise you have, from how long you are doing the job. So you have to explain all that. Here we have examples downside. Then you have to list the responsibilities, what you can do in your bullet points, that your what abilities and skills you have, and you have to be very concise and accurate about your skills. No need to explain your skills so many high, or you lower down your skills. So you have to be very definite about that. Then you have to write your awards and honors, that what you achieve in your past 5 years or 10 years, You have to explain it like rank order by importance to the career objectives, reverse chronological order depends on you. So you have to explain the awards and honors. After that, in CV you have to write the publications, how many publications you have, how many books you have, how many papers you have, and which year you are going, which year you published it. Everything depends on the style you are going to follow. Then you have to give the reference of two potential professors or potential persons that work with you already, and then that those two persons will become the witness of your work, that you have these expertise or skills that you already mentioned here. So this is the brief guideline for writing a resume and CV in actual, because you are a research student and belongs to academic and research, then so you need to write a CV, not a resume. Also, you know how to write a resume, and maybe you should have one page resume. So if you need somewhere, you have that in your hand that time instead of just gathering the data. If anyone has any question, please ask. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks for joining.